I want you to picture your physical operations for just a second. Picture your dark warehouse, filled with boxes stacked super high on those massive steel shelves. It's quiet, maybe there's a forklift driving by in the background. But as a financial leader, what are you genuinely looking at? You see, most operational managers look at that and see products ready for deployment. They see readiness, right? But from an executive finance standpoint, those boxes represent something entirely different. They are not just materials or finished goods waiting around for a customer.
In reality, every single item sitting idle on those shelves is trapped capital. Think about it. Every single box is basically a stack of $100 bills wrapped up in cardboard. It's cash that is completely unable to generate returns for your business. When your capital is locked up in physical goods, you can't invest it in R&D, you can't use it for strategic acquisitions, and you certainly aren't earning any interest on it. It's entirely frozen in place. And honestly, that is the core problem we're tackling today.
To unlock all of this trapped capital, we absolutely have to embrace a corporate minimalist logic. We need to apply a really systemic, structured, clear-cut approach to our operational flows. It's all about removing the noise, cutting out the excess, and establishing a minimalist framework where every single link in the chain is optimized for capital efficiency, not just for storage capacity. Because without this disciplined logic, you're just at the mercy of the market. Unpredictable disruptions, those glaring red warning signals, they force companies into one of two incredibly dangerous extremes. On one side, you have crippling supply chain failures, stockouts, halted production lines, angry customers. And on the other side, just to prevent those failures, you end up with panic-driven overstock scenarios. Both of these extremes are massive liabilities on your balance sheet, and they're entirely driven by uncertainty and risk.
The drivers of volatility. Dashboard view. Let's look under the hood and see what's actually causing this chaos. To protect against wild market disruptions, operations will build a safety stock buffer. Every time there's a spike, those huge orange waves of demand volatility, that buffer has to be thick enough to absorb the shock. But remember, that buffer isn't just boxes, it's made of your cash, and maintaining it comes at a remarkably steep cost. We're essentially tracking three vital drivers here. First, our forecast accuracy, mapped out in a clean, systemic blue. Second, the sheer volatility of customer demand in orange. And third, our supplier reliability. When accuracy drops or volatility spikes, your overall risk shoots up. And when that happens, your physical inventory pile inevitably grows just to compensate.
The exponential lock of lead times. There is one specific metric here that demands our full attention. Lead time. It's the single driver that causes the most financial damage. Consider a localized one-day turnaround. Minimal friction, right? Now stretch that cycle out to 30 days, 60 days, or all the way to a 90-day global shipment. The required inventory doesn't just grow linearly, it grows exponentially to cover the compounding uncertainties of that massive time frame.
Industry data is super clear on this. For every single day a product sits in a shipping container, its carrying cost eats directly into your margin. The longer the lead time, the exponentially larger the cash lock required. That expanded 90-day cycle isn't just a measure of time. It represents a massive, locked numerical value of your corporate cash. It's entirely frozen during transit. Millions of dollars are rendered completely useless to your treasury while they literally just float across an ocean.
The balance sheet shift. Now we need to bridge the gap between day-to-day operations and high-level finance.
To truly grasp this impact, we have to morph the physical supply chain directly into your balance sheet. A traditional warehouse view just sees boxes sitting there passively, but a balance sheet view, that sees direct cash conversion. Every box on that shelf is an immediate deduction from your working capital. When executives start seeing physical pallets as literal stacks of treasury cash, trust me, the urgency to optimize operations changes overnight.
Total cost of ownership comparison. How do we actually escape this cash trap? We have to evaluate our pathways.
We generally have two distinct pathways. We have the traditional red pathway, a long global supply chain laden with high risk, massive uncertainty, and requiring a huge inventory buffer. Contrast that with the green pathway, a localized, agile network built for savings, optimization, and positive financial impact. And this right here is the greatest trap in supply chain management. The red global path is incredibly tempting because, well, it usually offers a very low individual piece price. Procurement absolutely loves that, but it requires dangerously high inventory holding just to buffer that long lead time. The green localized path might actually have a slightly higher upfront piece price, But because it's so agile, it drastically lowers your required inventory. This isn't just about buying locally. It's a massive financial optimization strategy that releases trapped cash right back into your business.
Optimization strategies. So, how do we actively build this agile pathway?
Let's rebuild our system structure using flowing, interconnected blue lines of logic. Step 1. We deploy vendor-managed inventory, or VMI. We're shifting the holding burden back to the source. Step 2. We activate regional hubs, getting much closer to our customers. And Step 3. We heavily tighten our supplier networks, drastically reducing our geographical footprint. By doing this, we strip out massive delays and create incredible responsive agility within our newly structured framework. And here is the executive payoff. As you execute these strategies and your physical warehouse slowly empties of all that bloated buffer stock, that cash smoothly flows right back into your corporate treasury's dashboard. You are going to see green, upward curves rising across all your financial KPIs, return on capital employed, free cash flow, inventory turnover ratios. By solving a physical operational problem, you've directly engineered a massive financial victory.
I'll leave you with this final paradigm shift. Inventory is not stock. It is cash waiting to be unlocked. Once you change your corporate lens to see your warehouse not as a storage facility, but as a bank vault full of your own frozen capital, you will never look at a supply chain the same way again. So, my question to you is this: how many millions are currently collecting dust on your shelves right now, and what could your company achieve if you unlocked that cash tomorrow?